This should prove to be a barrel of fun. Stay tuned till the end of this video for a special channel announcement. Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Customs in Switzerland. I'm Andrew. On the bench today is a Matchbox Super Kings K17 Scammell tractor. I dug this one out of my junk box, where it has been resident for at least 4 years now. I've got a matching trailer for it also, but I'm not going to need that today. I'm going to use only what I've got in my hands here to build my entry for the October Four Horsemen Invitational on an Oktoberfest theme. These are my teammates whose YouTube channels are worth checking out. There's a link in the description for each of them. And this month we welcome Beard Does Diecast as our guest horseman. You can see the 2 remaining builds for 2025. Remember, everybody's invited to participate, and I sure hope you will, even if you're a newbie. These old Matchbox Super Kings castings are really well put together, which required a whole lot of drilling out of a series of rivets that hold all the different pieces together. Most of them are going to be cast aside by me today. Your imagination might be piqued a little bit when I tell you that all I really want is this die-cast chassis. I'll build everything else on top of that. This will be my sturdy frame. Down to bare metal now. I want to keep these rear tire flares intact, but I have to remove anything between those that rises up higher than the top of the flares. I do that with a carbide tip attachment on my rotary tool. You can see the metal filings flying here. That's why I'm careful to wear eye protection. And so should you if you're doing this at home. Between now and Christmas, there's a couple of special customs I'd love you to come back and visit for, as well as some DIY projects that I've got on the go. I hope there's enough variety here to keep everybody interested and returning regularly. I invite you to visit my Facebook and Instagram social media sites too. This is an intriguing pic that was sent to me by friend of the channel, Big Ed Wright, which serves as my inspiration pic. Came in a long time ago, and I said that would be perfect for the Oktoberfest build. Ed said, I sure hope you give it a try. Challenge accepted. So I've designed and printed up these special 3D parts to fit on top of my Matchbox Super Kings chassis, and to match the inspiration pic as closely as possible. That was a challenge in itself. I think my favorite piece is this super detailed engine, fully wired, fan, air filter on top. I made it extra big to power these huge honking tires down the road. I first sprayed them in chrome to make these Krager rims stand out. And the best method I found for applying the black is just touch them down into some paint, like this, giving me the perfect edge. The rest I hand paint on where I don't need to be so careful. Hey, if you need 4, print 2 dozen. Here's a special touch that should set them off nicely. Now I've got Hoosier tires. Cool. I've now securely attached the 3D printed beer wagon to the metal chassis using some putty to fill in the gaps, and then this is some glaze on top of that, which needs to be carefully sanded down for a super smooth attachment along the joints. Today's community shoutout goes to chubbyskustomz on Instagram. I sure hope you'll follow up with all of these shoutouts by clicking on the link in the description that I always leave for you. After sanding and priming all the parts that I've got prepared so far, I'm going to shoot this in Kaleido Baby Blue. You might be wondering why such a color choice. That'll become clear shortly. I'm using a Gaahleri airbrush with a 0.35mm needle. I've turned the PSI down because I'm up pretty close here. I don't want to overspray onto the barrels, though even if I do, they'll be hand painted later, so no biggie. But this takes care of the metal chassis from the original Super Kings casting. Isn't that detail supreme? 3D printing really has come such a long way. All I intend to do is highlight some of the nooks and crannies with a little touch of panel liner here and there. This breaks up the monochromatic chrome on the engine that's going to remain exposed. It's a simple effect and it makes a big difference. The front cab of my beer wagon, where the driver sits, is a stylized barrel. Now to do some hand painting on this to give it a wood grain effect. Some Vallejo Model Air light brown and mahogany for the wood streaks should do the trick. I'll start with the inside. Do you know what the different parts of a barrel are called? The long individual planks are staves. And now I'm painting the black iron hoops. The craftsman who makes the barrels is a cooper. Not bad. Now for some minimal decals, at which point I can address the baby blue mystery. The blue and white diamond pattern comes from the coat of arms of Bavaria, the same color scheme as on the BMW logo, headquarters in Munich. And yes, this is the lovely Petra and I'm in lederhosen, she's in her traditional Austrian dirndl, and a steering wheel size pretzel for a visit to Oktoberfest on the 200th anniversary of the event. I 3D printed some custom exhaust tips that'll go on the sides here, commensurate with the size of the big blown engine. I wanted to look like some maple leaves have been burned into the barrels. I did that with all black decals, which give the same effect. Canadian beer. Notice also the decorative posts and chains surrounding the barrels in the engine. I had to fashion a front windshield out of some light plastic. I'm going to fasten that in place with micro crystal clear, which dries clear, as the name suggests. I'll have to leave it overnight. The next morning, I'm happy with the results that I've got. A few strategically placed drops of super glue will tack weld the barrel-shaped cab in place. I've added a couple of supports underneath as per the original inspiration pic, and it's just about complete. All it needed was a couple of carriage lamps, printed to scale. Using a Gaahleri metallic marker, I'll touch up the tops of those in zirconium black. And on the very bottom, another aluminum pen will highlight the simple exhaust that Matchbox put in place. Finally, after much more than the usual amount of work on a custom, we can have a closer look at the finished product. I like how the barrels stand out, set against the Bavarian baby blue diamond pattern. The exposed mid-engine placement looks like it's ready to breathe fire. I put a couple of sheaves of wheat on the back over top of a custom license plate. Giant Hoosier brand tires, 20 millimeters on the back, 16s up front, all with Krager rims. It is a roller. Ed, I did my very best to match up the pic that you sent me. I hope you're pleased with my effort. I did my best. I'm pretty sure I rendered the original Super King's tractor unrecognizable. Whoa! Just the chassis remaining. I built up the rest piece by piece on top and underneath, and ended up with this Canadian beer wagon. Lots of fun along the way, even though it was a long process this time. It would never survive overseas shipping, so I think this one is destined to sit on the shelf like a few others. Big thanks again to Daryl from Beard Does Diecast for being our guest horseman for this Oktoberfest build. If you participated, here are a couple of tips we'd like you to follow so that we can include your work in a recap video. November's theme is RV. The beer wagon was my 56th Four Horsemen build in a row. Haven't missed one in more than 4 years. I promised you a special announcement at the end of this video. There have been a lot of changes in the makeup of the Four Horsemen since its inception. Some top customizers have come and gone. I wasn't one of the original four, and I well remember my surprise when I was asked to join, and it's been a good run. I've given my teammates Paul and Tom and Skip notice that as of the end of 2025, I'll be stepping down. It's just time for a change for me and the diecast hobby. Now I want you to know that I'm leaving on the very best terms possible. I consider my teammates to be my closest online friends, so there's no drama here. Sorry. I'm just turning the page and writing a new chapter in the Maple Leaf Customs Journal. That's all there is to it. My YouTube channel will keep going strong. There'll still be annual Old Porsche and Canada Day builds. I'll keep my summer road trip series going too. You'll see more Four Horsemen builds from me in the new year. I just won't be part of the team. I hope I've made a valuable contribution to the group. They've sure made a big one to me. I'll let the guys announce who's stepping in. That's their news. This is mine. So my heartfelt thanks goes to each of you who support the Four Horsemen by participating in our community invitationals as builders, and also to all of you who follow as viewers. I hope you'll remember a few of my builds. I'll always look back on this as a season of growth and great fun for me. Peace and love to each of you from Switzerland. It's coffee time.